Welcome back to the MLG GameOn 16-player Invitational. This is the second to last day of the MLG GameOn Invitational. We are down to 8 players. We have 2 groups. Are we going to name these groups E and F, or like A and B of like the second time?
1 and 2?
1 and 2. Okay.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Okay. Man, have we got some groups here for you today. So, 16-player MLG GameOn Invitational. 8 of these players drafted in due to their previous WCS results. 4 of them special invites by MLG, and 4 of them voted in by you, the community. We have 8 players left on the ragged battlefield who will be fighting today in 2 groups, 4 of which will advance, 4 players of which will advance, and 4 of which will fall into obscurity. Oh my gosh, what a day.
What a day we have. And if you want to check the groups, follow us to GameOn.gg. Click on the bracket page, and you can see the groups right there. They're actually named A and B.
Oh, well, maybe we should have called
Group
them that.
A, which is going to be the first group we'll be casting, starts off with What a Match.
What is EVZ?
What is EVZ?
In Group A, we have Kane, Scarlett, Suppy, and QXC.
The only 2 Canadians remaining in this tournament are actually going to go head-to-head against each other in the very first match.
They can still both advance,
They
though.
can still both advance.
Because even if one drops, they still have the opportunity to...
What a CVC. This might be the best CVC we could hope for in
Possibly.
terms of North American play.
Are you saying Kane is better than Suppy?
In terms of CVC, in my personal opinion, sure.
Okay.
I think Kane is very, very strong at CVC.
Once we finish with that group, Group B will be Minigun, Neeb, Major, and Puck. What a games.
Really.
And this will be either a glorious day for Terrans or a sad day for Terrans. Based on how these
we have
PvPs
2
go.
Terrans left in this tournament.
Both going up against very strong Protosses.
Very strong Protosses, and if GSL is anything to go by, they will probably not advance.
Wow.
If GSL is anything to go by. However, you know, there's a theory that's been going around.
Oh, yeah?
And it says, well, Terrans in GSL aren't doing all that good because all the best Terrans in Korea are playing outside of the region.
Okay.
It's true to some extent. We have Teja Polt playing in North America.
Sure.
Right?
Some guy wrote like did you read that like 10-paragraph analysis on why maybe it was okay that there were no Terrans in Kodos? Like he went through like player by player and...
Yeah, something like that, I think.
Yeah, sure.
That's what, yeah.
I don't know if there's any legitimacy to that or not. I'm sorry if we have
It's just speculation.
Yeah, definitely. And don't let us put a stop on any like Terran QQ out there because
because it's
Terrans are pretty screwed right now, I think.
Especially against Protoss.
Yeah, especially against Protoss, so
in the GSL, no Terran advanced had a Protoss opponent actually.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
So that's pretty great. Will Neeb and Major stand up to the task and make Minigun and Puck theirs?
Maybe.
It's quite possible.
Alright, so I think we are ready to hop... I mean, I'm not even on the game, actually. Wow.
Damn.
Let's keep talking about the
Alright,
game.
let's talk about the first group that we have. We're gonna have Kane going up against Scarlett and Suppy going up against QXC. Suppy against QXC is gonna be what a match. I was just talking about how Kane is probably better at CVC than Suppy is, in my opinion. Well, in my opinion, Suppy happens to be better than Kane at CVT.
Well, there you go.
And QXC is probably the scariest TVC player in North America. That is in my opinion, again. So, what a match. Suppy against QXC, completely, I cannot predict that. It's just both players probably playing their best matchup against each other. Both great players. So, I'm really looking forward to the second match. And just in general, I'm looking forward to seeing QXC play because... He's got a tough road ahead of him. This group is stacked. Scarlett, Kane, Suppy, QXC. Let's be honest, they're all world-class players, and yeah, it's really hard to predict who will make it out. QXC only has to play TVC, so that's
a positive
as good as it's gonna get for him.
Looks like our first map will be Heavy Rain. Maps aren't, I guess, as important here as it is a ZVZ. They do dictate openings, or can, depending on the size of the map. But It's not like one map favors one Zerg and a ZVZ over another Zerg, so.
Well, if we're talking about playstyles, it just might.
Playstyles, possibly.
Yeah, if we're going into that far
if we
into
go
detail.
that deep into the meta.
Kane, recently living in Europe. I think he's back in Canada now, if I'm not mistaken. And he actually was first on the European ladder for quite a while. He fell in love with Nerchio while he was there, apparently. And Scarlett, you could say, has been Kane's not mentor, but role model for quite a while.
So this is like the student goes against the master kind of thing?
Yeah, and I think the student can definitely win. It's not I don't think it's unrealistic that Kane ends up taking this serious. He's a fantastic player. However, one thing that I've always told Kane is, if you respect Scarlett as much as you do, and I'm not saying that it's the wrong thing to do, how are you ever gonna beat her? Because he kind of put Scarlett, really
on the
up there.
pedestal?
Yeah, he does.
Well, he just has to try his best, right?
Absolutely. But yep, Kane learns a lot of his own builds from Scarlett, and
I wondered why I couldn't see him talk.
Kane learns a lot of his own builds from Scarlett and Hyun, for example. So we'll see what happens here. It's going to be a really interesting match. Scarlett seems ready. Kane seems ready. And we're going into the game right now.
I really wonder what conversation we missed here in the lobby.
I really wonder, is your sound working?
Yeah, of course.
I don't hear a countdown.
Well, sucks for you.
Production?
There is no countdown sound.
There's no countdown sound.
Don't worry about it. We're fine. We'll make it through.
There hasn't been.
Just pretend there's sound. Make the sounds in your head.
I just woke up. This is going to be tough.
It's okay. You can do it. I believe. What a match.
What a match. And yeah, I hear no sounds right now. You guys do. Do you, Steven? You don't get any sound? Production, are we sure that the stream is getting sound?
No, they're getting sound. We're fine. Don't worry.
Okay.
Everything's just as it should be. What is EVC?
What is CVC? We should probably take a minute to fix that afterwards. But yep, we have in the bottom position 520, 522. I think we agreed on.
I think so. Yeah.
We have the Acer Surg, the Queen of Blades,
Scarlett
Scarlett,
with 2 T's.
with 2 T's. And
in the northern spawn. Oh. That a 9 pool?
damn,
Wow. We have Kanye from MY Insanity. What do you think? Does that stand for anything, or is it just My Insanity?
my insanity.
Okay. Why is the Y capitalized? Just to be obnoxious, I guess.
I suppose so. Yeah.
Okay.
It does create a because it's MYI.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
I
so the
suppose
logo
it
kind of
separates it.
Sure, I guess. Interesting 9 pool opener. So, looking at ZVZ openers, if Scarlett goes for a 15 edge here, which it looks like she's going to, do you think that's a build order loss, or do you think she can hold it off?
It's a builder or disadvantage without a doubt. Kane is not getting any gas,
Sure. Which is probably,
so
I don't know, it's really hard because you might think, well, he's not getting any gas, so Scarlett's probably in a better spot. However, when I play ZVZ, I almost rather have it so that the Zerg, if they're going to do a 1 base all in, to just do 1 base all in, because then if you hold it off, you win, right? But if they do these kind of 9 pool openers with no gas and then kind of the later expo, then you have to defend it perfectly, because if you overcommit to lings, or if you end up making too many spines, or you make a color, if you do some weird stuff and you don't hold it off really well, then you actually find yourself behind, and then the game gets really, I think, kind of interesting from there.
yeah, I mean, this is not a 1 base all in.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. It's definitely not an all-in. It's just an early pressure build, so
Yeah.
you have to hold it off perfectly.
So what Kane needs to do here is either attack. He's definitely looking to cancel that hatchery.
Sure.
It's extremely likely that he will. He has to be really careful not to run all of his links up the ramp and then not have enough time to kill the hatchery.
Definitely.
Because once Scarlett's pool is done,
She will be producing Lings.
She will be
right?
producing Lings, and she can take down drones down her ramp to try and fight this.
Yep.
So I think this is a little bit of a misstep by Kane. Scarlett
Maybe.
being a little bit sloppy with her micro,
Yeah.
losing one drone too many perhaps. And Kane just trying to do as much damage as possible with this, but I'm not sure how much I like this. I think that Scarlett with a little bit better micro could have kept a few more drones alive. Lings are about to pop out.
Possibly.
Uh,
Although,
let's see, focus fire those.
man. Yeah, I don't know. Scarlett lost a lot of drones.
She really did.
I think
Wow.
that might be... I'm sorry, let's not call the game early. But, wow.
10 workers killed. That's
6
a
to
lot.
14.
Yeah, but there is a hat trick for Scarlett. So
Yeah, but she can't even produce it.
it's yeah.
Uh,
I think that this was a huge mistake.
And-
Mistake by
on both
by
players,
yeah,
kind
by both players. The safe play for Kane, and again, this might speak to how much he respects Scarlett. The safe play is to go for the hatchery and take that definite advantage. It's like you went for hatch first, I went for 9 pool. I can kill your hatchery
And
be
still
in a good
force
spot.
you, and you still have to make Lings.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know, it's not
But-
like Scarlett gets a free hook, you know, or is
Yeah.
off the hook after the hatchery dies.
It would just be a
But
a decent advantage for Kane, whereas now he's taking a sizable lead just because he killed that many drones. But I
Yeah.
think that's too.
I think Scarlett maybe didn't give those Lings enough credit. Maybe she
Well-
didn't think he was going to commit as hard as he did.
Well,
to
it comes to
attacking
the map
drones.
as well. This map and Habitation Station have a what I'll call a design flaw, because that's very apparent to me. And that in the main base there is no pocket for the drones to run into, whereas in every other map, pretty much. And this has been a design thing that map makers decided. Wow, early pools are really not that fun. They're pretty random. So they gave Zerg, mostly Zerg I suppose, but other races as well, the option to try and defend those early pools by having a pocket where you can stack your drones and minimize your losses. That pocket does not exist on this map. So Kane's decision on this map is much more understandable than it would be on any other.
Sure.
Or
And I don't like what Kane is doing here. He might be able to close it out, maybe, just because he was already so far ahead.
Oh, that was a good hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He might be able to close it out just because he's so far ahead, but this is definitely the risky play again. But, I mean, it's working.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna work.
Yeah.
I don't mind it too much. The speed was done anyways for Kane. It
Yeah,
wasn't
sure.
like a speedless Bane all-in.
Yep.
But this is definitely gonna give him the 1-0 lead.
Definitely, yep.
And Kane takes the lead. 1-0 up against Scarlett.
A little bit of a risky play. Kane playing, man, a little bit risky all game. Almost reminiscent of, like, the QXC Hellions, Where, like, you don't expect the Hellions to come in because they could lose them all for free. Because they're, like, positioned perfectly with queens and whatnot. But sometimes QXC will just, like, go for it,
Mm-hmm.
And what Kane did here... So, the problem with what Kane did is that if you run the Lings in and you only kill, like, one drone, and then the hatchery still lives, and then the Zerg defends, then you're kind of behind at that point. You're in a really
Yeah.
awkward spot. Because now, like, well, what do? You have to all in at that point. Because, I mean, are you going to put up an expansion and just be behind for the next, 2 minutes while the hatchery morphs in? So
Yep,
going
probably
for the
not.
drones is definitely the riskier play. However, as Kat said, whether it's due to the map or just Scarlett's misplay there, she wasn't able to defend the Lings as well as she could have. And Kane ended up taking a major lead in the early game. 10 drones killed by, I think, 8 Lings. So, wow.
Yeah.
What a Ling harass.
What a Ling harass. And yeah, again, I think it's mostly due to the lack of a pocket in the map. But
Yeah.
Scarlett herself saying, drone micro so bad. I went 15 pull after hatch, which is she's trying to say it was pretty safe.
Yeah.
I
think
not,
we're gonna
not a super greedy one.
I think we're going to
Quick
cut to a
90.
quick 90-second break. We'll be back. We'll hop into game 2. Good luck.